Hi guys, so I want to cover this subject, which is spirit guides. So welcome to my new subscribers. I'm Nicky Alan and I'm the bedroom guru, and as you can see, I'm on a bad day today. I'm very tired. I suffer with ME and fibromyalgia if you don't know me, and today everything's been done in bed, and I mean admin and work stuff. Keep it clean. Spirit guide. So I just want to cover this because, again, I kind of cover things that there's a trend. My last video was about animal totems, and this video is about spirit guides and how they connect with us and how they work with us and how they help us, because it's very hard to understand. So I'm going to do layman's terms. One day, you mostly seen some of my other videos, my visits to heaven, and this was no different. I went up to the Crystal Palace and took myself around until I was shown where I needed to go. And I ended up in the halls of learning. It's a huge hall with checkered flooring, massive statue in the middle of it, which is the Adam and the Eve, which were the first human people to get souls integrated into their physical bodies. That's another story for another time. And there's all these like brass plaques on the wall, and they all had various names on them, and these are people that have signed the Acacia Records and had some sort of implementation of spiritual awareness, or they've had some impact on humanity when they've been down on the earth plane. And so I was walking along and I said, "Oh, where are?" And they said, "Oh, your halls of learning." I'm like, "Okay." Outside there's a huge fountain, it's lush. And so I said, "Okay." And so I said, "Oh, what's that room then?" It looked like a common room full of light figures. You've got to remember that everything is light energy, and so they show the images to a human like me so that I can send it on to you layman's terms. Does that make sense? Because if I just described light and energy, well, we're not going to get very far, are we? So basically it was like a common room. I said, "What's that in there?" And they said, "Oh, that's where the spirit guides are." I went, "Oh my God, I'd love to like just see how that works." So I went into the room and I just sat back, and they were kind of integrating with each other. And then now and then you'd see one of them dissipate, and it's like, whoa, what just happened there? Julianus was with me, and he said he's felt a spike in the energy of whoever he's looking out for, and he needs to go down and see what's going on. I'm like, wow, how does that work then? So let's just put it this way. Do you know, it's almost like it's just come up in my head, right? If you haven't watched Star Wars, you're like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." But do you know when Darth Vader goes, "I can feel him," when Luke Skywalker is on like the Death Star and he goes, "I can feel his presence." It's just like that, right? Your guide can feel your presence. He can feel the celebrations. He can feel like the lows, the highs, whatever, right? And so they kind of sense what's going on with you. And it's like this telekinetic telephone that, you know, goes to this other layer, and they think, "Oh, the phone's buzzing, what's going on?" And then it's either a celebration, and like and the guide might think, "Oh, I might send them a little something to acknowledge, you know, send them a little sign." Or if it's like "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" or it's a life crisis thing, then the guide will go down and try and show them the right way forward from the trauma or the crisis, right? Problem is, it depends on how much connected you are with your guides. So if you're connected with them and you can sense what they're trying to say, what they're trying to do, then that means you'll mostly go with whatever signs or opportunities they'll put in front of you, okay? So the times that they've shown me things and I've chosen not to go there, and I should have. One of the biggest ones was the Akashic thing that's in my book, Me, Myself and I, where I had loads and loads of synchronicities around Akashic Records, and I didn't go and see a bloke who was an Akashic consultant, and I should have done that, but I was just too tired at the time, and I think it would have made my path easier and I would have got to my next landmark quicker. So yeah, they will come down and bring their essence. Very good question. In my head, I've just said, well, do they just look after one person? And I'm like just asking now and sending that up. And so, yeah, they just feel the spike. They feel the need. They will hear prayer. They will hear if you ask them to come and help you. They're just literally telekinetically and celestially connected to you and can feel everything that goes on. They will try everything they can to get you through whatever you're going through. It's up to you to go with the signs or go with the opportunities that are brought before you that they're helping to implement. If you choose not to take them, then the path's harder. So connecting with your guide and, you know, encouraging a close connection with them is so important, because the more you understand their signs, their presence, their way of working with you, the more you can work on things that you need to get out of, or, you know, that will give you strength. That's the best way forward. Because then you've also got the angel realm. You've got so much support around you, but people don't tend to go for it because they don't believe it or whatever. It's such a shame. So thank you. So yeah, part of your soul cluster, which I talk about in what happens when we die. Remember, I've started to create playlists for a lot of my videos now, so you can find them easier. So that's one of my things I'm going to do on top of everything else, is try and get a playlist going for what happens when we die, so you've all got it in one space. They will basically be allocated to you before you come down. They will stay with you, and they have your landmarks and your life plan in front of them. And if you go off it, they'll kind of create things that will bring you back on it. Mine was huge with the road accident. They always will look out for you and the soul cluster. So perhaps part of your soul cluster, like me and my brother, recognise one guide together. So there may be part of your soul cluster will have the same guide looking out for you. They won't verge off anywhere else. That'll be your soul cluster that you've been connected with throughout the whole of time, and will be for, you know, as long as you want in the future. So that's how spirit guides work. Let me know if you've connected with spirit guides. People will most probably ask me how I do it. It's through meditation. Meditation is the way to do it, whether it's a guided meditation, or you can meditate yourself with the intention of meeting a spirit guide, because that's the way I develop mine. And then, as you'll know from my book Rise and Fall, you'll then get synchronicity coming to back up their identity, like that girl, you know, drawing my guide and things like that at Hogwarts. If you haven't read my book, you're like, what is she talking about? But yeah, the Rise and Fall, God, you should read it only for the laughs of it. But also, there's a lot in there that I talk about here. You know, I've put so much into that book that I talk about here, so it's all in one place to read it. But yeah, it's a beautiful journey to go on, because you know you're not alone. You know that no matter what happens, they're there. It's up for you. It's up to you to choose how in depth you want to get with that guide to make life easier. Anyway, that's how guides work, and it was a lovely journey up there. I loved being there and didn't want to come back down. But they're with you. They are standing by your side, just as your loved ones are when you're going through happy or sad times. You're never alone. I hope that helps. I'll speak to you again very soon.